Good evening, Flosstube. It is Wednesday, the 30th of December. It's 8 o'clock at night, so I'm sorry about the lighting. Hopefully it'll be okay. If you see this, I've decided it's sufficient. Welcome to all my returning viewers and welcome to all my new subscribers. It's wonderful to see all the little subscribe things come up. Please feel free to leave comments, say hi. I love hearing from you all. What else? And I'm here to talk about my cross stitching and I'm going to cover what I stitched in November. So, excuse me, I'm a little tired, but I'm trying to do this on time. And so let's get smack bang into it. So, at the end of October, I went away to visit my brother, and I needed to take something easy to stitch. And I mean easy because the lighting in his house isn't that great for doing stitching, and I knew I would have other things taking up my time. So I decided to pull out a full coverage piece I haven't worked on in absolutely ages. And why it's easy is because it's on 16 count, and it is the Zelda stained glass window pattern that's you can find for free. I found it for free on Craftsy or something. So this is, a lot of people have stitched it and a lot of people have finished it. I'll put a picture in if I can. If I can, there'll be pictures. I make no promises because sometimes it works, sometimes it fails. So, and this is where I'm up to. So what I ended up doing was I almost finished a page and I stitched all this yellow. While I was at my brother's at the very end of October, I put in the black lines there. Then when I came back, I got in and I stitched all of that yellow. So, which is getting really exciting because down here somewhere is the tip of the castle. So that's going to be exciting when I get across. I actually started this to teach my sister-in-law how to cross stitch, and she was very into Zelda, and at the time she kept saying, she asked me if I could stitch it. I said I wouldn't stitch it for her, but I would teach her to cross stitch and I'd walk her through doing cross stitch. And I do that with everyone. If anyone asks me, I teach them. I don't stitch for them because they just don't appreciate, not truly, the time and dedication that goes into it. And I think I'd rather enable them to learn a new craft and a new hobby than to hand them stuff they want. That's me. So that was my first piece. I worked for about 2 weeks on that. She really absorbed doing that. I thought I would wear out stitching the yellow, but I didn't. I really actually quite enjoyed it. And then I decided I wasn't quite sure what I felt like doing, but as I hadn't stitched on a Mirabilia for a little bit, I decided to bring out my Venetian Opulence and work on her. So this is her. And I did a few Mirror Mondays on her as well, so you would have seen some photos. So I'm working on this section of her dress here and her shoulders. So she is MD99. She's still available. I actually don't think I'm going to be stitching this bit. I'll see how I go. If she does look unbalanced, I'll put it in. but I'm not the greatest fan of that. We'll see how I go. So that's her. And this is, so this is a piece of 32 count, not my standard. I usually stitch on 28 count, but because I want her to fit in a particular spot, I needed her to be a bit smaller. And where I want to put her, every little bit counts. But this is where I got to. So that'll be her fan, that's her shoulders. I'm really happy with how she's looking. So I coloured this piece myself. I've been a bit worried that the colours will overwhelm, but I think I'm going to be okay. I think there's enough blue to counterbalance the purple. So it's all looking lovely. I really enjoyed working on her. And I put in about 2 weeks on her. Now this last week, I decided that I felt like doing another bit of full coverage, and I pulled out when I'd barely started, because I wanted some easy stitching, and I hummed and hawed what I was going to work on, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to try and work on this piece all of December, and I want to put some work in on it now. And so I decided to do some pull out Nautilus Princess. The pattern's by Haid, and again, depending on how skilled I end up being, we'll go in here somewhere. It'll probably just slot in. I can't work out how to do the overlay. I really wish I could, but I just can't seem to work it out with iMovie. Anyway, that's an aside. She's a Haid. The artist is Jasmine Becker Griffiths. I had to think there for a moment, mind blank. So I am at, oh, just one moment, I don't know. I can tell you this, I use pattern keeper these days. Let me get my pattern keeper up. Actually, I just realised 192. Do not know my pin. Sometimes I think we have too much technology with too many pins. Okay, I just realised I can do this. So I can go like this. I can go view PDF. I can go like this. And I can go like that. And hopefully I can, there we go. So she is 350 wide by 704 high. I am working on this corner, and I just think she is gorgeous. So, okay, so that's her. Now I am, as at this moment, I managed to do 230 stitches today. That's about my average for a day, sort of my morning stitching. Sometimes I get stuff in the afternoon done, in the evening. Today I've actually been doing up some gridding. So my total progress is 4,505 stitches of a total of 246,400 stitches, and I am at 1.83%. That's for those who like numbers. I rarely get to give them because I only use my pattern keeper for my heids, and I don't try and count anything else I stitch on. And this is where I'm at. So I'm actually trying to bring it down in columns because there is a lot of sort of block colour, similar colour sort of things. So I figure if I just keep bringing it down, I will get across there, and I will eventually start on her. And again, her hair, there's a lot of brown for her hair, there's a lot of flesh tone, and I think it'll just keep it interesting. And what I'm doing is I'm not trying to do 10, I am sort of doing 10 stitches, but sort of when a colour peters out, I'll go back up here and bring this down, this one down, and then this one down. And this green, it's sort of just there. So I figure I'm just going to go across the two. Then I'll bring the next colour down and fill in that area. Yeah. So I'm just sort of working it down column by column because I'm ready to start the next column. Across. I thought I'd better put in some gridding, so I've been gridding up a little bit tonight. So that is my Nautilus Princess, and I have the very best intentions of working on her constantly throughout December. And I want to see how much I'm what I would call a monogamous stitcher, in that I will work on one project for about 2 weeks. By the end of 2 weeks, I'm ready to swap out, and I swap out. What I intend to attempt this summer, and maybe, I'm not sure if it's going to be the entire summer or if it's just going to be December, is to constantly stitch almost every day on one full coverage piece to see where I get to and how I go, and see if my stitching picks up, see if I really get motivated, see what happens. Now, having said that, and I've chosen her because December usually means I'm working on a Mirabilia mermaid. Her being Nautilus Princess will fit in the theme of what I'm normally stitching, and I'm hoping I'll be able to just stick at it. Sort of looking forward to this challenge. It will be a challenge, especially as I've already been working on her for a week. So it'll be interesting if I can keep her going. The last piece I have touched this month, and one I wish to continue to touch. Actually, I better unclip her. Oh, do I have her? No, just one minute. I have realised, oops, oh well. I don't have to actually try and insert pictures because I have the patterns. So this is my Christmas Flourishes. She is MD number 24. She is actually quite big. That border is not actually in the pattern. That is something they've added on. Which I find interesting. So that's my Christmas Flourishes. And, let me turn that off. This. Yep, that does it. Is where I'm at. Now this is a piece of fabric I did not hand dye and myself. I don't know. It's a 28 count. I know that. I know it's linen. I also know that. Just take it off. Just take it off. So I've decided, every Monday I am going to attempt to put my Nautilus Princess down, and only on for that Monday I am going to work on my Christmas flourishes for December, because I want to see some decent progress. Because I've made some decent progress on her. So I've basically just got so I am working on that there. So I've basically got to bring all this across. So I'm working on the bottom of her skirt. So I've done her arm, done her arm, I've got to come in and do this, and do all her bells, and finish off her skirt. And I keep thinking I should have a Christmas project. I have a Christmas project. So this is what it's going to be. So I've got all the skirt that's got to go into there. Now, last Monday I managed to get in all of that. All of that, and I think a little bit of this. Some of this was already here. So I actually got a nice chunk in. Excuse the thread. So I think that's I get 200 stitches in, and then if I do find I need a break from stitching that, like I might decide that Christmas Day I will also, because it's a Sunday, I might also spend all day stitching. I'm on holidays, so I'll probably mix it up. It depends on if I need easy stitching or if I can just do, slam some of that out. We'll see how I go. But she is beautiful. Stitching that headband, that I can remember that being a big chore, because there was quite a bit of confetti in there. And I wasn't used to confetti. I was used to stitching the less confetti style. And the same goes with all the berries in her arms. But I love her. I do love her. I just need to get in and make some real progress. I haven't made real progress on her for ages. Hence why I decided to pull her out. Because even come Mirror March and Mirror May, I didn't get much. So that her and Nautilus are my plans for December. I'm trying to decide whether to join the stitch-along that Teresa, the little stitcher, is running. Hashtag Teresa made me do it, I believe, is what they've ended up deciding to call it. Where you can stitch a glamorous mirror style pattern of whatever gender you wish, be it mermaid, person, angel, what have you. A lot of it started from them liking a Bella Filipina pattern. I do like the pattern, but I need another new start like a hole in the head. I haven't had any decent finishes this year, and I think I can quite safely not start another pattern. And even for my months that I like to dedicate to Mirabilia, I think I'm just going to start continue on with the patterns I've got. Who was it? I think the Needleberry Stitcher was saying that no new starts. And I think I don't need any. I'd like to progress everything I've got, and some of them really progress them. And try and actually get a couple of finishes. And stuff I've got stuff there that, I mean, I've got a Teresa Wentzler there that I've just got to get in and finish the back stitching. And I see I watch all these floss tubes and I'm excited for them that yay. New content, you know, and all these patterns that they find. And I realise there's part of me that wants to get caught up in that hype, but there's another part of me that's like, do you know what? I've got other things to spend my money on, and while I do love stitching, I've got enough to keep me stitching. And once I get a few finishes done, and I've got a better breathing space, maybe I can then go catch up, because by the time I got to these other ones, there'll be something new out. And I don't get a lot of, you know, I can't stitch for hours on end. I'm not a super fast stitcher. I see these women who get thousands of hours in and thousands of stitches in, and it's like, ooh, I get 200 a day. Hey, these patterns are going to take me forever. So I'm pretty much settled on the idea of no new starts. And if I can do what I plan to do this month of focusing on a full coverage piece, alternating out on a Monday, if I can do that for the month, and if not the quarter, I will say my YouTubes may get a tad boring. But it's sort of my goal, because I want to see progress. I want to see some decent project. I want to see my princess come alive. And I want to see my mirrors steadily making progress. So, yeah. I'll see how I go. We'll see how we go with my YouTube. I might even try and do some stitch-alongs if I can work it out. I have tried a couple of times and trying to get a spot where my camera sits over where I work. Is a little bit awkward, but I think I may have a solution. I don't know yet. I've got to keep running some tests. I have spent so many time thinking I'm recording and yammering along to myself, and I've gone to play it and it's not looking at my work. You're looking at, it's like a corner of my fabric, or you're looking at a piece of the table, because I think I've got it right, and then I do something and it moves everything, and because I can't see my camera, because my camera is my phone more often than not, yeah, and it's like, okay, delete. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling for the evening. I am probably going to go to bed now. It's been good 24 minutes or so, and I've got to tidy this little mess up and reset myself up for the day tomorrow, and clean up a little bit and get ourselves to bed. So I'll say good night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking. Please continue to like and subscribe, and please comment, say hi. I'd love to know where you're all from. I'd love to, make yourself known. I will catch up with you again at the end of next month. So everyone have a happy and safe Christmas and New Year's, because I probably won't record again until at least a week into New Year's. So everyone stay safe and healthy over the holiday period. If you're in somewhere cold, stay warm. If you're somewhere hot, stay hot, cool. We're going into summer and I'm wearing a jumper tonight. So we're having weird weather for Queensland. Yeah. Good night. Happy holidays. Stay safe, stay well. And see you in the new year.